About a year ago, I went to TD Bank over here in town, and well, of course our town has a lot of banks, and I noticed on the wall there was a very large mural, and it was a picture of the gazebo of the hospital grounds, the hospital, and there was people out there on a Sunday with hats from the early 1900s, and I thought about it. I said, what a place that was, but also the history behind it. And I was aware that there was going to be a development up there. And I thought it was something nice that if we could preserve the gazebo and also preserve the land as a park, because it seemed like it was a park even though it was a hospital, and I guess it was family members that were coming to see the patients that were there. That's where it started. And a gentleman who was running for council was Terry Lowe, was a friend of mine, and an influence on me. He was involved in county politics, and I started noticing how South Mountain was, how nice Joe DiVincenzo did the park. I also noticed Verona Park with the lake, and I thought it would be a wonderful thing to have that type up at the Hilltop property. So I noticed that it seemed like they wanted to build, and that seemed to be the core thing of building, and I started talking to residents, and residents started saying that they really would love to have that as a parkland. And there's the reservoir now up there. They're cutting a large amount of trees down around the reservoir, and again the residents were very concerned about that, and I made a call and said the EPA was doing this out of security for the water. I don't think that they needed to cut as many trees down as they did. And they're still presently cutting down a lot of trees. And I know this time of year the bats are nesting in the trees, and I feel bad for the wildlife that's up there. But also there was again, back to the original question, that core of a village-like feel. We're so close to New York City, the trains, everything, and we have a little piece of nature still here. The Peckman River. The Peckman River is rated high on the list of one of the best rivers in the quality of water. So that was one of the influential things that I wanted to do more for the community. I wanted to spend the rest of my life in this town. My children grew up in this town. My nieces and nephew grew up in this town. I feel that it's a wonderful town, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Again, there's a lot of important issues in town. I want to be a part of that. Again, I have a vested interest. My in-laws live here, so again, I'm trying to look at all perspectives of what can we do in terms of services for the children by also being conservative with the budget. But again, trying to provide for each segment of the population in town. I think it's important. We do have a lot of good services, and I'd like to see some of that expanded as we go forward. Again, keeping an eye on the budget and doing the best we can with that as well. And also, again, my grandkids are going to grow up here, so I think it's important that for the school system, for everything that Cedar Grove has to offer. Again, I think the council, again, a lot of the budgeting and the resolutions and things like that come through the council. Sometimes you have to decide, where are you going to spend money? What's the most important thing? I also want to try and increase the participation of the people in town. Transparency is important to me because, again, I've been going out, knocking on doors, and talking to people. And so you find out there's, some people have the same issues or concerns, and they don't really know how to voice that. Or, you can show up at the council meetings on, every other Monday, but a lot of people don't know that. So when they talk to you, it's like the first time they're really, except for maybe towards their neighbors. So I want to try and create an atmosphere where we generate a lot more people coming to the meetings, and even I was thinking having an outdoor meeting. When the weather's nice, maybe do something down Community Park and invite people and have it like, again, depending on what the budget says we could do. But if you had money to maybe throw a little, have a little eat and drink or whatever, and gather people together for just kind of a fun time, but also to voice their concerns, opinions, get their input, get their ideas. Because again, if everybody's giving you the ideas, there's, you put everything out there, it's kind of gets you thinking a little bit, and that's something like brainstorming. Again, just to go back to work, I think it's important to get everybody's involvement. And again, they do have opinions. When you talk to them, they do strong opinions about, whether it's taxes or the hilltop or whatever the issues are. People are voicing those concerns. One of the things I heard is about the roadways. When are we going to fix those roadways? So again, I really just think it's important that people have a voice, and not just the voice that they're getting frustrated at home, but kind of get the communication out there and use all the available tools we have to communicate, whether that's through email or on our website, the TV, all the different, through the paper, whatever it is. But I think we do more, and you target the people based on where they're probably going to be getting their information.